Have you ever trembled at the thought of standing before Jesus Christ, facing his unwavering gaze? The Bible speaks of a judgment, a day of reckoning where every secret action and hidden motive will be laid bare. Hebrews chapter 4 verse 13. But what will that day truly be like? What questions will determine your eternal destiny? Today, we unlock the secrets of the three profound questions Jesus will ask each of us at the final judgment. These aren't mere theological curiosities. They are the keys to understanding your relationship with God and securing your place in His eternal kingdom. Don't let this be a moment of fear, but one of profound preparation. This isn't about earning salvation through good works. It's about the depth of your faith in Jesus Christ and the transformation that faith brings. Are you ready to face the ultimate test of faith? Stay with me, because what you are about to discover will forever alter your perspective on life, faith, and the glorious hope found in the Bible. Subscribe now and hit that notification bell. You won't want to miss a single moment of this life-altering revelation. Let's begin with the first question, a question that cuts to the very core of your relationship with God. What did you do with my son? This isn't about church attendance or the number of Bible studies you've completed. It's about your personal acceptance of Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior. John chapter 3 verse 16. Think about it. Many people go through the motions of religion, engaging in outward displays of faith, but their hearts remain untouched. They cling to their good works, believing their actions will secure their place in heaven. But Jesus looks beyond the outward performance. He sees the heart. The Bible emphasizes faith, not works. Ephesians chapter 2 verses 8 to 9. He searches for a genuine relationship, a surrendered heart that trusts in His sacrifice and grace. He's not interested in empty rituals. He desires a love for Him that surpasses mere religious observance. He wants to know, do you truly know Him? Have you accepted Him as your personal Lord and Savior? Many may have attended church regularly, followed religious customs meticulously, yet their hearts remained distant from God. Their actions might have seemed pious, but their hearts were far from a true relationship with Jesus. Their response to this question would be a reflection of a life lived out of obligation, not love. Now consider a different scenario. Imagine someone who claims to know God but never truly experienced a personal transformation. Their belief may have been intellectual, a matter of head knowledge, rather than a heartfelt conviction. Their faith may have been inherited, a family tradition, rather than a personal choice born from a deep conviction and personal encounter with the power of God. Their answer would reveal a lack of genuine transformation, a faith that remained superficial, lacking the power to shape their lives. Their religious practices might have been flawless, but their hearts are devoid of the true spirit of faith. Their faith is a mere shadow, a semblance of genuine devotion without the substance of true belief and acceptance of Christ's sacrifice. This is crucial, my friend, because only a genuine acceptance of Jesus Christ, a life transformed by His love and grace, allows you to truly answer the first question. Let's reflect on this for a moment before we move on to the next profound question Jesus will ask. We'll explore the third type of response and delve deeper into the meaning of this pivotal question in the next section. Pause for reflection. Now let's explore a third response to Jesus' question, what did you do with my son? This response represents a profound misunderstanding, a tragic rejection cloaked in the guise of religiosity. Imagine someone who, throughout their life, vehemently opposed the message of Christ. They actively fought against the gospel, perhaps even persecuting Christians, actively working to silence the voice of truth. Their actions speak louder than any words of faith they might utter. Their life is a testament to their rejection of Jesus, a conscious and deliberate turning away from God's grace. This individual might have built a life on material success, focusing on worldly achievements and possessions. They might have achieved great things in the eyes of the world, political power, financial wealth, academic accolades, yet their heart remained barren, untouched by the transformative power of Christ's love. Their success became a shield, a wall between them and God, a substitute for the genuine relationship Jesus seeks. Their response to Jesus' question would be a chilling silence, perhaps a defiant glare or a dismissive wave of the hand. There's no repentance, no remorse, no acknowledgement of their need for salvation. Their life is a stark contrast to the life of faith, a living testament to the consequences of rejecting God's offer of grace. They might try to justify their actions, perhaps citing their contributions to society, their philanthropy, their adherence to a strict moral code. But these are mere attempts to cover the emptiness within, a desperate attempt to mask the chasm separating them from God. This scenario highlights the critical importance of personal acceptance. It's not enough to simply know about Jesus. One must actively choose to embrace Him, to surrender to His lordship. It's not about the outward appearance of piety, but the inward transformation of the heart. It's not about what we do for God, but what God has done for us through the sacrifice of His Son. Consider the parable of the talents, Matthew chapter 25 verses 14 to 30. The servant who buried his talent, failing to use the gift given to him, represents this third response. He didn't actively reject his master, but he didn't actively embrace his responsibility either. His inaction spoke volumes. He chose to remain stagnant, failing to invest in the potential that was entrusted to him. Similarly, rejecting Jesus isn't always a blatant act of defiance. Sometimes, it's a quiet, passive resistance, a failure to engage with the grace offered. It's a refusal to acknowledge the depth of God's love and the transformative power of His sacrifice. It's a life lived without purpose, without the guiding light of faith, adrift in the sea of self-reliance. The first question, therefore, serves as a profound litmus test, revealing the true state of one's heart. It cuts through the superficialities of religious observance, exposing the core of our relationship with God. It's a question that demands a genuine response, a response born not from obligation or fear, but from a heart overflowing with love and gratitude for the immeasurable gift of salvation. Let us ponder this further before moving on to the next crucial inquiry. The parable of the talents offers a powerful illustration, but let's explore other facets of this initial pivotal question. Consider the multitude who, throughout history, have lived outwardly respectable lives, adhering to societal norms, contributing to their communities, even engaging in charitable works, yet remained spiritually barren. Their actions, however laudable, were devoid of the animating force of faith. They built their lives upon sand, not rock. Their achievements, however impressive, were ultimately meaningless in the grand scheme of eternity. Think of the meticulous scholar, poring over ancient texts, deciphering complex theological arguments, yet failing to grasp the simple, profound message of love at the heart of the gospel. Their intellect, a formidable weapon in academic battles, proved utterly powerless against the subtle allure of self-reliance. Their knowledge became a cage, imprisoning them in a labyrinth of intellectual pride, preventing them from surrendering to the humility required for genuine faith. Or consider the wealthy philanthropist, showering the world with their largesse, funding hospitals, schools, and charities. Their generosity might be breathtaking, their contributions undeniable. Yet, if this generosity stems from a desire for recognition, a need to assuage guilt, or a subtle form of self-aggrandizement, it falls short of true faith. It lacks the selfless, sacrificial love that emanates from a heart transformed by God's grace. Their acts of charity become a form of self-worship, a subtle transaction rather than a genuine expression of love for God and neighbor. The common thread among these examples is a failure to truly know Jesus, not simply in an intellectual or academic sense, but in the deepest recesses of the heart. It's the difference between knowing about a masterpiece and experiencing its beauty firsthand. It's the difference between reading about love and feeling its transformative power. It's the difference between hearing about grace and experiencing its liberating effect. This first question, then, isn't merely a theological inquiry. It's a deeply personal summons. It's a call to self-examination, a demand for honest introspection. It forces us to confront the unspoken truths about our lives, to acknowledge the hidden motives behind our actions, to confront the chasm between our outward presentation and our inner reality. It's a question that cannot be answered with intellectual gymnastics or carefully crafted justifications. It demands a response born from the heart, a response that reflects the true state of our relationship with God. It's a response that transcends mere adherence to religious dogma and embraces the transformative power of a personal relationship with Jesus Christ. The silence that follows the question, therefore, is not merely an absence of sound, but a deafening revelation of the heart's true condition. It is a silence that speaks volumes, and in that silence we find the true measure of our response. To truly answer, we must first understand the profound implications of this initial inquiry, delving deeper into the nature of our relationship with God. This journey of self-discovery, this relentless probing of the heart, is not a comfortable one. It requires a willingness to confront our vulnerabilities, to acknowledge our shortcomings, and to embrace the uncomfortable truth of our own imperfection. It's a path that demands humility, a quality often in short supply in our achievement-oriented culture. We live in a world that glorifies self-reliance, independence, and individual success, often at the expense of genuine connection and spiritual growth. We are encouraged to build our own empires, to amass wealth, to climb the ladder of success, often neglecting the quiet inward journey of faith. Consider the ambitious executive, driven by an insatiable thirst for power and recognition. Their days are filled with board meetings, strategic planning, and the relentless pursuit of the next promotion. Their weekends are often consumed by networking events and social gatherings, all designed to further their career aspirations. They may attend church occasionally, perhaps even donate generously to religious charities, but their faith, if it exists at all, remains a peripheral aspect of their lives, overshadowed by the relentless pursuit of worldly success. Their heart, though outwardly successful, remains untouched by the transformative power of God's love. The question of knowing Jesus becomes a mere intellectual exercise, a convenient justification for their already established worldview. Or think of the diligent student, poring over textbooks, striving for academic excellence. Their life is a testament to hard work and dedication, a relentless pursuit of knowledge and achievement. They may excel in their studies, earning accolades and recognition for their intellectual prowess. Yet, their pursuit of knowledge may eclipse their pursuit of God. The intellectual understanding of theological concepts may replace the experiential knowledge of a loving God. Their faith, if it exists, becomes a matter of intellectual assent, a cold and distant appreciation of religious doctrines, rather than a vibrant, life-transforming relationship with the divine. They may know about Jesus, but they do not know Jesus. This process of self-examination is not a one-time event, but a continuous journey of growth and refinement. It's a lifelong pursuit of intimacy with God, a constant striving to align our hearts with His will. It requires a willingness to be vulnerable, to admit our failures, and to seek His forgiveness. It demands a surrender of our own will, a relinquishing of our desire for control, and a trust in His unwavering love. It's a process of stripping away the layers of self-deception and pretense, revealing the true state of our hearts. It's a journey of shedding our masks and embracing our authentic selves, flaws and all, before the face of a loving God. This is the true meaning of knowing Jesus, not in the abstract, but in the very core of our being. Only then can we begin to truly answer the profound question that lies at the heart of our faith. But what does this intimate knowing of Jesus actually look like? It's not merely the absence of outward sin, though that is certainly a part of it. It's not simply attending church regularly or reciting prayers without genuine feeling. It's far deeper, more profound, and far more demanding than a superficial adherence to religious rituals. True intimacy with God involves a radical transformation of the heart, a complete surrender of our will to His, a willingness to let Him reshape and remold us into the image of His Son. Consider the wealthy philanthropist who donates millions to charity, building hospitals and schools in impoverished nations. Their generosity is undeniable, their impact on the world significant. They may see themselves as devout followers of Christ, citing their charitable works as evidence of their faith. Yet, beneath the veneer of generosity, a deep-seated pride might lurk, a subtle self-satisfaction derived from their acts of benevolence. Their giving, while commendable, might be driven by a desire for recognition and self-aggrandizement, rather than a pure, selfless love for God and neighbor. Their actions, while outwardly righteous, may lack the inner transformation that only a true relationship with Jesus can provide. They may know about Jesus' teachings on charity, but do they truly know the heart of the giver, the selfless love that compelled Jesus to sacrifice Himself for humanity? Or think of the devout missionary who dedicates their life to spreading the gospel to remote corners of the world. They endure hardship, sacrifice comfort, and risk their lives to share their faith with others. Their commitment is unwavering, their dedication inspiring. Yet, even in their selfless service, the potential for self-deception remains. The missionary zeal, while commendable, could be masking a deep-seated need for validation, a desire to prove their worthiness to God, or perhaps even a subtle form of control, a desire to impose their beliefs on others. Their actions might be motivated by a sense of duty or obligation, rather than a spontaneous overflow of love and grace. They may have an extensive knowledge of Scripture, but do they truly know the gentle compassion, the unwavering forgiveness, and the unconditional love that characterized Jesus' ministry? The path to knowing Jesus is not a straight line. It is a winding road, full of twists and turns, setbacks and breakthroughs. It requires constant self-reflection, a willingness to confront our own imperfections, and a humble acceptance of God's grace. It's a journey of continually stripping away the layers of self-deception, revealing the true state of our hearts, and allowing God to work His transformative power within us. It's a process of letting go of our own self-reliance and embracing His unwavering love and guidance. It's a process that demands ongoing vulnerability, honesty, and a commitment to lifelong growth and faith. It is a relentless pursuit, not of outward achievement or societal accolades, but of an ever-deepening relationship with the divine. Only through this continuous process of self-examination and surrender can we hope to truly know Jesus, not simply in our minds but in the very core of our being. This journey of knowing Jesus isn't merely about accumulating religious knowledge or performing righteous deeds. It's about a profound transformation of the heart. Consider the individual who meticulously observes every religious ritual, adhering to every prescribed rule and regulation with unwavering precision. Their piety is undeniable, their devotion seemingly unwavering. They attend every service, pray diligently, and fast regularly. Yet this outward display of faith might conceal a rigid adherence to rules, a self-righteousness that judges others, and a lack of genuine compassion. Their actions, while outwardly pious, might stem from a desire for self-justification, a need to prove their worthiness before God, rather than a heartfelt yearning for a deeper relationship with Him. Do they truly understand the grace and mercy that Jesus extended to the outcast and the sinner? Or are they clinging to the letter of the law while missing the spirit of love and forgiveness that lies at its heart? Think, too, of the individual who engages in extensive theological study, accumulating vast amounts of knowledge about Scripture, church history, and doctrine. Their intellectual understanding of Christianity might be unparalleled, their ability to articulate complex theological concepts impressive. Yet, this intellectual prowess might be divorced from genuine faith, a sterile academic pursuit, rather than a living, breathing relationship with God. Their knowledge, however impressive, might not translate into compassionate action, heartfelt prayer, or a humble spirit. Do they truly embody the humility and empathy that characterize Jesus' interactions with others? Or does their intellectual superiority create a barrier between them and those they seek to serve? The path to knowing Jesus necessitates a constant battle against self-deception. We are all prone to self-justification, to finding ways to convince ourselves that we are more righteous than we truly are. We create narratives that protect our egos, rationalize our shortcomings, and obscure the areas of our lives where we need God's grace most. This self-deception is insidious, often subtle and unnoticed, yet it can profoundly hinder our growth in faith. It's in the quiet moments of introspection, in the vulnerability of confession, and in the willingness to confront our own flaws, that we begin to dismantle these self-protective mechanisms. It requires a willingness to acknowledge our own brokenness, our own need for forgiveness, and our own utter dependence on God's grace. It's not a comfortable journey. It's often painful, requiring a surrender of our pride, our self-reliance, and our need for control. But it's in this surrender that we begin to experience the transformative power of God's love. This struggle against self-deception is not a one-time event, but a lifelong process. It's a constant vigilance, a daily examination of our motives and actions. Consider the philanthropist, for instance, who donates vast sums of money to charitable causes. Their generosity is undeniable, their impact on the lives of others profound. Yet is their giving driven by a genuine desire to alleviate suffering, or is it fueled by a need for public recognition, a desire to enhance their reputation, or perhaps even a subconscious attempt to buy their way into heaven? The motivations behind our actions are often complex and intertwined, making it difficult to discern the true source of our intentions. We may convince ourselves that our actions are purely altruistic, when in reality self-interest plays a significant, albeit often unconscious, role. The same can be said for those who dedicate their lives to serving others, missionaries, teachers, doctors, working in underserved communities. Their commitment is admirable, their sacrifice is significant. But even within the most selfless acts, the subtle tendrils of self-deception can take root. Are they driven purely by a love for God and a desire to serve humanity, or is there a hidden need for validation, a desire to feel superior, or a subconscious attempt to escape personal struggles? The line between genuine altruism and self-serving behavior is often blurred, making honest self-reflection crucial. Furthermore, consider the individual who meticulously follows every religious ritual, fasting, praying, and attending services with unwavering devotion. Their dedication is evident, their piety unquestionable. But is this devotion born out of a deep, personal relationship with God? Or is it a performance, a meticulously crafted facade designed to impress others and secure a sense of self-worth? Is their piety a genuine expression of faith, or a form of self-righteousness, a subtle way of separating themselves from those they perceive as less devout? The danger lies in mistaking outward displays of piety for genuine inner transformation. True faith transcends outward performance. It's a journey of the heart, a transformation of the soul. The path to genuine faith demands a willingness to confront the uncomfortable truths about ourselves. It requires a profound humility, a willingness to acknowledge our own flaws and shortcomings, and a recognition of our utter dependence on God's grace. It's in the quiet moments of self-examination, in the vulnerability of confession, and in the willingness to seek forgiveness that we begin to dismantle the structures of self-deception that we have so carefully constructed. This process is not easy. It requires courage, honesty, and a willingness to surrender our need for control. But it is in this surrender that we begin to experience the true transformative power of God's love, a love that transcends our flawed attempts at self-justification and embraces us in all our brokenness. The journey is not about achieving perfection, but about embracing the journey itself, acknowledging our imperfections, and seeking God's grace at every step. It's a journey of constant growth, of continuous self-discovery, and ultimately, of deeper intimacy with God. This journey of self-discovery, however, is not a solitary pursuit. It requires community, the support and challenge of fellow travelers on the same path. We need others to hold us accountable, to gently point out the blind spots we fail to see in ourselves, the self-deceptions we so skillfully weave into the fabric of our lives. A supportive community provides a safe space for vulnerability, a place where we can confess our failings without fear of judgment, where we can share our struggles and receive the encouragement and wisdom we need to persevere. This doesn't mean blindly accepting the opinions of others, but rather engaging in thoughtful dialogue, seeking diverse perspectives that can illuminate our own limited understanding. Consider the example of a seemingly successful entrepreneur, driven by ambition and a relentless pursuit of wealth. Their achievements are undeniable, their influence significant. Yet, beneath the veneer of success, might there be a deep-seated insecurity, a fear of failure driving their relentless pursuit of achievement? Is their ambition a genuine desire to build something meaningful, or a desperate attempt to fill a void within themselves, a subconscious attempt to prove their worth? The accumulation of wealth, the accolades received, might serve as a temporary balm, but they cannot ultimately address the underlying issues that fuel this relentless drive. True fulfillment comes not from external validation, but from inner peace, a sense of purpose that transcends material success. Similarly, consider the artist whose work is lauded for its beauty and emotional depth. Their creative genius is undeniable, their impact profound. But is their artistry driven by a genuine desire to express themselves and connect with others? Or is it a desperate cry for attention, a subconscious attempt to compensate for feelings of inadequacy or loneliness? The applause, the critical acclaim, the recognition, these can be intoxicating, but they are fleeting. True artistic fulfillment comes not from external validation, but from the act of creation itself, from the joy of expressing one's inner self, regardless of external recognition. The path to genuine self-awareness and spiritual growth requires a constant vigilance, a commitment to honest self-reflection, a willingness to confront our own shadows. It's a process of peeling back the layers of self-deception, one by one, revealing the raw, vulnerable self beneath. This process is often painful, uncomfortable, and requires courage. But it is in this vulnerability, in this willingness to confront our imperfections, that we begin to experience a deeper connection with ourselves and with God. It's a journey of continuous learning, of embracing our flaws and recognizing our dependence on God's grace to guide us towards a more authentic and fulfilling life. The goal is not perfection, but progress, not an arrival, but a journey. This journey of self-discovery, however, is rarely a solitary one. We are inherently social beings, woven into the fabric of human connection. Our relationships, both positive and challenging, serve as mirrors, reflecting aspects of ourselves we might otherwise overlook. A close friend might point out a recurring pattern in our behavior, a blind spot we've been unable to see. A difficult interaction with a colleague could reveal unresolved anger or a deep-seated insecurity about our competence. These interpersonal encounters, even the painful ones, offer invaluable opportunities for growth, provided we are willing to learn from them. Consider the dynamic between a parent and child. The parent, burdened by their own unresolved traumas and insecurities, might unconsciously project their anxieties onto their child, creating a cycle of dysfunction. The child, in turn, might develop coping mechanisms, perhaps through rebellion, withdrawal, or overachievement, that perpetuate the pattern. Breaking this cycle requires a willingness on both parts to confront their own inner demons, to acknowledge their vulnerabilities, and to engage in honest communication. It requires empathy, understanding, and a commitment to healing. This isn't about assigning blame, but about recognizing the interconnectedness of our experiences and the impact our actions have on others. Similarly, romantic relationships can serve as powerful catalysts for personal growth. The intimacy and vulnerability inherent in a loving partnership can expose our deepest fears and insecurities. Conflicts, disagreements, and even breakups, though painful, can offer profound insights into our own emotional landscape. Learning to navigate these challenges with compassion and self-awareness allows us to develop emotional intelligence, resilience, and a deeper understanding of our own needs and desires. It's a process of continuous negotiation, compromise, and forgiveness, both of ourselves and of others. The path to self-awareness is not a linear one. It's a winding road filled with unexpected detours and setbacks. There will be moments of profound insight, followed by periods of stagnation or even regression. We might experience moments of clarity, only to find ourselves falling back into old patterns of behavior. This is not a sign of failure, but a testament to the complexity of the human experience. The key is to approach these setbacks with self-compassion, to acknowledge our imperfections without judgment, and to continue striving towards a more authentic self. It is in these moments of vulnerability, of acknowledging our limitations, that we find the strength to persevere. The process is not about reaching a destination, but about embracing the journey itself, with all its joys and challenges, its triumphs and failures. It's about learning to live fully, authentically, and in harmony with ourselves and with God. The constant striving, the persistent seeking, the unwavering faith. These are the hallmarks of this ongoing transformative journey. This journey of self-awareness often mirrors the spiritual path, a continuous striving towards a deeper understanding of our place in the universe and our relationship with the divine. Consider the parable of the prodigal son. His journey away from home, his descent into self-destruction, and his eventual return represent the cyclical nature of our own spiritual growth. We stray, we stumble, we fall, but the possibility of redemption, of reconciliation always remains. This doesn't imply a passive acceptance of our flaws, but rather an active engagement with our imperfections, a willingness to confront our shadow selves and integrate those aspects into a more complete picture of who we are. Think of the process of meditation or prayer. These practices aren't about achieving a state of perfect stillness or unwavering devotion. They are about cultivating a consistent practice of self-reflection, of turning inward to connect with our inner selves and with a higher power. the inevitable distractions, the wandering thoughts, the moments of doubt. These are all part of the process. They are opportunities to observe our minds without judgment, to acknowledge our imperfections, and to gently redirect our focus back to the present moment. Similarly, in our relationships with others, self-awareness allows us to approach conflict with greater empathy and understanding. Instead of reacting defensively, we can strive to understand the other person's perspective, to acknowledge their feelings, and to communicate our own needs with clarity and compassion. This doesn't mean avoiding difficult conversations or suppressing our own emotions. It means engaging in these conversations with a willingness to listen, to learn, and to find common ground. It requires a commitment to understanding, not just being understood. It's about seeking mutual growth and healing within the relationship, acknowledging that growth often necessitates confronting painful truths and working through disagreements with grace and patience. Forgiveness, both of ourselves and of others, is a crucial component of this process. Holding on to resentment only hinders our own growth and perpetuates cycles of negativity. Letting go of anger and bitterness allows space for healing and understanding to emerge, leading to stronger and more authentic connections. The ability to forgive, to truly let go, is a testament to the depth of self-awareness and compassion we've cultivated. Ultimately, the journey of self-awareness is a lifelong pursuit, a continuous unfolding of who we are and who we are becoming. It is a path paved with both triumphs and setbacks, moments of clarity and periods of confusion, but it is a journey worth undertaking, for it is through this process of self-discovery that we find true meaning, purpose, and lasting peace.